Hello dear students, this is the lecture number 3 for current electricity. Last lecture we have seen Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Just we have seen the statements in that video. Today we are going to see how to apply this Kirchhoff's laws. So this stepwise procedure going to help us to solve the complicated numericals. So let's begin with our points. So first we are going to see how to apply Kirchhoff's law, step 1. So in step 1, you have to draw a current from one or more cells. Suppose for example in your given circuit network there are multiple batteries or cells are connected. So it is your wish that from which cell you want to draw a current. Either you can draw from a single voltage source or you can draw from a multiple voltage sources, that is nothing but the battery or cells which are connecting in the circuit. So this is totally your choice from which cell you want to draw current. There is no compulsion that you have to draw from the all the cells. No, you can draw either of that cell or you can draw all of that. It is totally depends on you. Second step is nothing but you have to follow the Kirchhoff's current law for the distribution of current. As current follows from the one branch or one network, it gets divided at one junction point, as you have seen the junction, loop, all these things in lecture number 1. So when this junction or node point comes, current gets divided at that point. So you have to mention that distribution of current. Suppose for example, one current is coming from this branch and it got the junction point where another two branches meet. So this flowing current I can be divided into two branches, that is nothing but I1 and I2. You can give it name as per your wish. You can note it as a I1 I2 or any name. You can distribute that current, but yes, this distribution is very important regarding your the branches. Maybe there are two branches connecting at a point, so you can divide at the I1 I2. If there are three branches connecting at that point, you can divide current as a I1 I2 I3. So number of branches can be there at a point, so you have to divide the original current I in terms of I1 I2 I3 I4 etc. So next third step is nothing but you have to choose the loop. So while choosing the loop, you have to keep one thing in mind, that loop should be closed. So this is the our important priority while selecting the loop. Loop should be closed. That means if you are having a square like loop ABCD, so you will write the name of loop as a ABCDA. So your starting and end point of the loop is same. So that's why we call it a closed loop, and this law is applicable only in a closed loop. So this thing you have to keep in mind. No matter how many resistors, capacitors, cells are connected in that loop, you just have to select first a loop. It loop can be a single loop, double loop, three loops in that circuit. So multiple loops can be there. So condition required is loop should be closed and name of loop should be given in a such a way that A, B, C, D, A. So starting point of the loop and end point of loop should be same. Next step we are going to say is nothing but fourth one, in which we are going to select the direction or path for that loop. So before previous step what we have done, we have just selected the name of loop. Okay, now what to do in that loop, we have to select the direction. So this direction can be of two types. It can be clockwise, it can be anti-clockwise. So clockwise direction is shown in figure. So you can note it down, the clockwise direction as well as anti-clockwise direction. You just have two options to select this direction. After selection of loop, what is the step? You have to choose the path or direction in that loop. You can select that as per your wish also. So anyone wants to select the direction clockwise, yes, you can go with the clockwise direction. If someone wants to go with anti-clockwise direction, you can select anti-clockwise direction in that loop. So for your convenience, I am showing the two forms of clockwise and anti-clockwise. So second form, whatever I am showing here in the form of square arrow format. This format is for your convenience only. You are not going to draw this format in your exam or your actual solving numerical. You are going to show like a circular shape for clockwise anti-clockwise. Usually we are showing the form that way, you are going to show in actual exam, but to solve the numericals it can be done easily with the help of second format whatever I am showing. It will get easily understand by few students who don't understand Kirchhoff's laws while solving the numericals. So main thing, you have to note it down, the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, actual form, and second form, which is convenient for solving the numericals. I am again repeating, second form you are not going to show in exam, it is just for your convenience. And how it will work we will see in directly solving the numericals. So clear, fourth step, just it is choosing the direction. You can choose clockwise, anti-clockwise. Now next is nothing but our fifth step. In this step we are going to give the sign conventions for change in potential. So everyone is aware about the change in potential. I have explained in previous video also. Change in potential is what? It can be gain, it can be drop in potential. These two ways are there for change in potential. So suppose if potential is flowing from higher potential to lower potential, means if the battery is connected in your circuit, like positive terminal will be there for battery and one negative terminal will be there. So your selected path, as I said in fourth step, the path is you are going to select. It is clockwise, it can be anti-clockwise. So depending upon this direction, clockwise, anti-clockwise, whatever your path is going from higher potential or lower potential, means from positive terminal to negative terminal, if the situation is like this, your path is from higher potential to lower potential, positive to negative, then there is definitely drop in potential. Clear? Means your potential is going from higher to lower. Means if you are having 10 volt voltage and you are going to the lower means 5. So there is drop. Everyone can say this is the drop. If you are going from something highest value to the lowest value, this is the drop in potential. So keep in mind that whenever there is a drop in potential, you are going to give negative sign for the potential or change in potential. So this is very important thing you have to note down, that if potential is flowing from higher to lower or positive to negative, sign you are going to give is nothing but negative sign only, and there is drop in potential. This statement is very important. Similarly, there can be a different way to give the sign also. If someone has choose the path opposite to clockwise, that means if someone is choosing clockwise, so someone will choose anti-clockwise. There is no compulsion on anyone to how to choose path, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Suppose this is the case, if potential is going from lower to higher, that means negative to positive terminal. In your diagram, potential is going from negative to positive. How you will decide it is going from negative to positive or positive to negative? It is totally up to you by selecting clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if it is the case, potential direction is negative to positive, that means lower to higher, definitely there is a gain in potential. And if there is gain in potential, you are going to give the sign for change in potential is nothing but positive sign only. So these two things are very important while solving the numericals. Okay, what is the first thing? If potential flowing from positive to negative sign you are going to give, and if potential is flowing from negative to positive sign you are going to give. That's it. And the last thing I'm going to explain is nothing but about the what if resistances are connected in circuit diagram. So as we know, no circuit will come without the resistors. Whatever the circuits coming to solve for us, every circuit, every network will consist of number of resistors. So what is the first thing? What will be the sign for change in potential or drop or gain in potential in that particular resistance? Now everyone is aware about this thing, that current always flow from higher potential to the lower potential. If anybody don't know, it can note it down, you can note it down, that current always flows from higher potential to lower potential. So suppose you are having one resistance network or resistance branch, and there is direction of current you are showing. Okay, direction that can be in straight direction or opposite direction. I am showing here in your example. So whatever the direction of current, okay, so this direction is always from higher to lower. This direction is from higher to lower. So wherever the current is going, you should mark it down at the terminals of resistance. Means first terminal of resistance will be higher, next one will be lower. And you have selected the path as a clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now what you have to keep in your mind, one small statement you have to keep in mind, that if your direction of current and your direction of selected path, which path, clockwise or anti-clockwise path, if both these directions are same, again I am repeating, your direction of current and direction of your selected path, if these two directions are same directions, then sign you are giving for change in potential should be negative sign. Okay, so similar thing, if the directions are opposite, that means your current is going in one direction and exactly opposite direction your path is going, that means current and path directions are exactly opposite to each other, then which sign you are going to give for change in potential? Definitely positive sign you have to give for change in potential. So this change in potential in case of resistance and current is flowing according to Ohm's law, how change in potential you can give? Yes, definitely V is equals to IR. Everyone is aware about this Ohm's law. V is equals to IR. So you are going to positive sign and negative sign for this IR term only. Okay, so current is there, resistance is there, so positive and negative sign issue is there only. If say current and path directions are same, you are going to write it as a negative IR, and if current and path directions are opposite, you are going to write plus IR. This is about the steps how to solve these numericals. If someone don't understand these steps easily, you can easily understand while solving the numerical. So this is about the how to solve numericals by using Kirchhoff's laws. So don't take stress if some things are not understood by you in this way. You will better understand while solving the actual numericals. By practicing, you are going to learn all these steps again and again for every example. So don't make it thing in your mind that if you don't understand these steps how you are going to solve. No, it's not like that. You will better understood these steps while solving the numericals. And yes, we are solving these numericals in your next video. In that video we are going to start from a very basic numerical to IIT JEE mains numericals. Every type of numerical we are going to solve in that video. There you will better understand these steps. So wait for next video for some good examples. Thank you.